what I wanted to show you real quickly is when you go to the southern half of the dungeon, do not fall for going to this door. You'll know when you see it. Go around it and use this door. Now this is after you have worked up enough experience in the top half of the dungeon to get 2,000 gold. And remember, it's going to cost you 2,000 gold to pass through this door every single time you pass through it, so make every trip through this door worthwhile. In a moment, as I pass through it, I'm going to show you the map. Oh, hit OK. Man in Black Army blocked up the way. Love the bad translations here. Wait and is toll 2,000 gold if you want to go along here. Pay it, OK, or cancel. Pay it, OK. Okay, so now we are in the southern half of the dungeon. Let me show you. Inspect. I think Doofus has a map spell. Yes, until your wizard, your mage, or wizard can learn the mapping spell, you're going to have to buy scrolls of it. And when you come down to the southern half of the dungeon, make sure to stop and buy a scroll of poison and a scroll of paralysis, so in case your thief happens to fuck up on a chest, you'll be able to revive him without having to leave that part of the dungeon and waste that 2,000 gold trip. You can revive him and continue on exploring. Yes, he has a scroll. Stigtilly. Use. I would have to move myself out of the way. Okay, here is the extent of the southern half of the dungeon that I have been able to explore. This is a locked door. This here is where there's going to be a boss monster fight. When you go to fight this boss monster, make sure that you go and buy a scroll of Vagra, or wait until your wizard has learned, I think it's Flame and Blizzard. You're going to be fighting, I think it's 4 frog monsters. So it's going to be a pretty heavy duty fight. When you go through this door here, you're going into an infirmary, and they're going to talk about how the disease is ravaging everybody. Be careful, don't get sick. And you're going to go in here, and there's going to be patients in all these beds and rooms here, and there's going to be a doctor sitting there saying cheesy things and bad translations, and it's going to be deeply amusing to you. But that's what this left side of the dungeon is for. The right side is where you have to go through this labyrinth to get to the boss monster room, which is this wonderful thing. You will want to use the scroll of direction if you've already got it, your spell direction, because you should have leveled up enough to at least learn that spell. You may not have the mapping spell, but you'll have direction, because every room has... Okay, we lost that map. Okay, so, what was I saying? I've lost track. Oh yeah, you're going to need to, you're going to be fighting 4 groups of monsters, and if you do not subdue them effectively, they're going to wipe your party out. But remember, you don't have to save. If you get wiped out fighting this boss monster, you don't have to save. Just exit. You will lose that entire expedition, but you can just go back, start over, get your party from Gilgamesh, and go back into the dungeon. You will not have spent the gold. You will not have died, just so long as you don't save. But yeah, just keep trying. It's going to take some effort to get through it, but that is what is going on in the southern half of level 1 at this point. Oh, and also, in case you haven't already started to, yes, make yourself an alchemist. The thing I didn't quite say at the beginning was, you're going to need that character later in the game, so start having an alchemist leveled up. As I progress through the dungeon, I'll show you when you get your characters leveled up enough to where you can change classes. I'll show you the other advanced classes that you can change your characters into. Don't forget also to level up your bishop or your sage. I call mine bishop to remind myself. You don't forget to level up your sage. When he gets to level 5, he will be able to identify and inspect items. But at level 5, the only thing he'll be able to do is identify who can equip the items. It'll be just the left 2 columns of the identification screen. When you go to fight the boss fight, there is a pit in this block right here. So be prepared, unless you, I don't think they sell the levitation scroll at Boltax, so unless you're willing to wait to level up until your wizard gets the levitation spell, your best bet is to just hope that you're healed up enough, make sure your priest has the healed spell, and just go ahead and muscle your way through it. When you get down into level 3 I think it is, you're going to run into a lot more pits, and I'll warn you when you're going to get to the portion of the dungeon where you're going to find that. But for now, you just need to get through this fight right here. Pit, and then boss monster fight. Like I said, buy a scroll of Vajra. That will take care of most of the monsters. You'll still have to fight a few of them because it won't wipe them entirely out, but it'll save your ass.